92 years ago today, Japan declared that it was in charge of establishing peace in China, whether anyone wanted it or not. At the risk of oversimplification yet, trying to make a long story short, Japan had been trying to conquer China since the 1500s. That being said, after their attempt in the 1890s, Japan fell into conflict with Russia, who was trying to expand its own influence as well. However, in 1905, Japan defeated Russia, ending the Russo-Japanese War and giving Japan a foothold on the continent. In 1931, Japan would once again escalate tensions in what would become known as the Mukden Incident. At the time, Japan claimed that Chinese soldiers were trying to bomb a train in their newly gained territory. Despite the fact that the train in question made it to its destination safely, Japan still used this alleged assault to further their occupation of China. This led to a man named Ejia Mao, the spokesman for the Tokyo Foreign Office, to make the declaration of the hands-off China doctrine. The world viewed this as Japan's own Monroe Doctrine, which told white people to stay out of China. Using the pretext of peace, Japan wished to absorb China's massive resources for itself. Seeking help, China turned to the US, who was actually already sending weapons to the beleaguered country. Additionally, the US enacted something called the Stinson Doctrine, which basically stated that they wouldn't recognize any agreements made between China and Japan. Unfortunately for China, the Stinson Doctrine did next to nothing, and they remained under the colonial chokehold of Japan until the end of World War II. I find this particularly interesting because not only did Japan mess with the global markets, but historically, the US has had okay relations with China. In fact, China really didn't become enemy number one until the fall of the USSR. Isn't that convenient? Additionally, the US ended up becoming close partners with Japan in the aftermath of World War II, something that usually doesn't happen to those who mess with America's money. Just ask Cuba, the other island nation that messed with US business interests. And that's your history today.